live. I love doing this because I love interacting with you. The first 3 people who comment will win ebook copies of The Secrets We Treasure. This is in my Honeysuckle Island series. I have a new book coming out that I'm so excited about. The official launch date is May the 11th, and it is called False Illusions. And guys, this one is a doozy. I'm really, really, really excited about this. But anyway, so be sure and comment. Does anybody have any comments right now? I know I saw a few popping up, but I'm not coordinated enough to like talk and respond. So maybe I'll kind of allow some time for comments so that I can communicate with you, because that's my favorite part of this event, is doing that. Okay, so let me do the trivia game recap. We did a trivia game last week, and I know that we had a little bit of problems with some of you being able to comment, so I apologize for that. I'm not sure what happened. I always just say, technology, it kind of gets me every time, but I hope you can all comment this time. I hope that works correctly this time. But anyway, so let me go ahead and recap those questions. Okay, so the first one was, what type of business does Alex have? So even if you didn't get a chance to play last week, you can always just chime in for fun. I have already, the winners have already been chosen for this one. What type of business does Alex have? She has a soap, a bath and body company. And so she does all kind of bath and body products. Let's see. What does Gracie sing? What song does Gracie sing at the top of her lungs in the middle of the warehouse? My favorite things from The Sound of Music. That's one of my favorites. I used to sing that to my boys when they were little. Okay. Alex received an all-expense paid certificate for what inn? We were looking for the name of the inn. It is the Willow Tree Inn. Okay. And the 3 winners of that were Wendy Voidle, Becky Stevens, and Annette Walker. Congratulations. You will be receiving ebook copies of The Fragile Truth. So that is my second book in the Honeysuckle Island series. I will also be announcing the $10 Amazon gift card winner. And so to get in on that one, join my newsletter list. I pick that from those people every week, and it's kind of my way of saying thank you for belonging to my newsletter and for reading my books. So anyway, okay, let me just do a little quick recap. And am I missing comments here? I don't know if I'm missing comments. I may be. They're not popping up as much on my screen. So if I miss your comment, I apologize, but feel free to comment. Austin was saying, I think we're good. So that's awesome. Okay. So let me just recap a little bit about, for those of you who may be just joining for the first time, I love reading chapters out of Kisses Over Candlelight. And this one is about Gracie. She's an almost angel. And she starts out, she realizes that she has died, and she's trying to get to this shimmery door, and she all of a sudden, this lady pops up, named Gertrude, and she's kind of acting as Gracie's mentor. But she tells Gracie that Gracie has to be a matchmaker, a couples matchmaker, which she feels like is way out of her league because she's had a lot of trouble with her romantic life. But anyway, she is given the task of getting back together a couple that she's just not sure if it's going to work, Alex and Dawson. And so right now, Gracie has managed to get them both to the Willow Tree Inn. So we're going to find out what happens from here. So this is chapter 5. Okay. Was this the right place? Alex checked and then rechecked the address. This had to be it, but it didn't look like she remembered. She remembered the Willow Tree Inn as being more ordinary, but this place? This place looked like a mini Swiss castle that had magically sprung up from the snow-blanketed ground in a glorious display of grandeur. She took in the graceful curves of the detailed roof and the turret in the center that was the proud focal point. The alabaster siding had thin gray panels that served as accents to give it a Tudor feel, and the windows were so detailed that they might have come straight off a gingerbread house. She looked at the massive evergreen trees surrounding the property, and then her gaze went to the scraggly mountains beyond that were bedazzled with glittering snow against the bright blue sky. She had the impression that she had left Utah and entered the Swiss Alps. Excitement brimmed in her breast, For the first time since she'd left Salt Lake, she was glad she had come. Things had been chaotic at the office, making it extremely difficult to break away, even for the weekend. It was like the fates knew that she was trying to get out of town, and everything was hedging against her. Everything that could go wrong did. In some strange way, all of the opposition made her even more determined to go. She was so keyed up that it would take her at least a day to unwind. But this tranquil place would certainly help. It was a time for new beginnings, a time to close the door on the past forever. As she pulled into a parking space and turned off the engine, her phone buzzed. She retrieved it from her purse and frowned. The first text was from Leeds Michael, saying that Chad had suggested that he contact her about setting up an interview for the Director of Marketing position. The second text was from her neighbor, Marshall Bryant, asking her to have dinner with him on Saturday. "No can do," she said aloud. "I'm not even in Salt Lake this weekend." The guy was really persistent. Maybe she should go out with him when she returned. So what if he didn't turn her insides to mush? He was an attractive guy who obviously liked her. Rather than replying to him right away, she shoved her phone back into her purse and slung the strap over her shoulder. She would find out where her room was located and then worry about her luggage. The lobby was warm and inviting, with the wood paneling and colorful rugs scattered over the polished stone floor. Her eye was drawn to the sitting area with the plush leather sofas that were nestled around a warm fire. It was so intimate and cozy that she had the feeling she could snuggle up with a book and while away the afternoon. She chuckled at the thought. She couldn't remember the last time she'd taken time to even open a book, much less while away the afternoon. She stepped up to the reception desk and rang the bell. A moment later, a woman emerged from the back room. She flashed a bright smile. "Welcome to the Willow Tree Inn." Alex did a double take. "Lou?" "I'm sorry?" "Lou, it's me, Alex. We met at the restaurant, remember?" She gave her a professional smile. "You must be mistaking me for someone else." She studied the woman in front of her, trying to figure out what it was that was so familiar. The accent was different. There was an overt British tone to it, whereas Lou had a southern twang. This girl's hair was curly like Lou's, but not frizzy, and it was strawberry blonde rather than platinum. She wasn't wearing glasses and was dressed fashionably in a red turtleneck sweater with gold hoop earrings. Alex felt foolish. "I'm sorry, you just reminded me of someone I know." "No worries, it happens all the time. I guess I have that face." "Yeah." Alex gave her an apologetic smile. The woman got down to business. "Do you have a reservation?" Alex retrieved the invitation from her purse and handed it to the woman. She looked at it and smiled. "It's an honor to have you, Miss Swanson. You will be staying in one of our suites. As specified on the invitation, this is an all-expense-paid stay, which means that all of your meals are covered. We do offer a variety of recreational activities, which are also included in the package. However, I will need to get a credit card number from you in the event that you wish to purchase additional items which aren't included, such as sundry items, long-distance charges, etc." Alex handed over her card. The woman jotted down the information and gave it back. "Your room is located on the second floor." She pointed toward the curved staircase. "Up the stairs and down the hall. The third door on the left. You will find fresh linens and you will have your own bathroom with a garden tub. Dinner will be served at 7 p.m. in our dining room." She pointed. "Through those double doors. We have complimentary hot chocolate and apple cider in the corner by the sofas. Help yourself." She looked at Alex. "Do you have any questions?" "How do I get connected to the Wi-Fi?" "Wi-Fi?" "Yeah, the internet." The woman chuckled. "Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have Wi-Fi here. This is a getaway." She gave her a meaningful look. "A place to recharge and get away from your hectic life. The fewer distractions, the better." "Okay." Alex had to fight the urge to roll her eyes. She wanted a getaway, not to be thrust back to the dark ages. "It won't be as bad as you think," the woman assured her. "There will be plenty of things here to keep you busy." Worst case scenario, she could always just patch in through her 4G network. "Any more questions?" "Is there anyone who can help me with my luggage?" The woman went bug-eyed. "Oops, I didn't think about that." A sense of déjà vu washed over Alex, and she again had the distinct impression that she was talking to Lou. "Are you all right?" "Yeah, I'm fine." Something was off here. She gave her a direct look. "You just remind me so much of someone I know. What did you say your name was?" "Gracie." Was it her imagination, or did the woman look nervous all of a sudden? An older woman stepped up to the counter and peered at Gracie over her pink glasses. Are you getting our guest settled? Yes, but she needs help with her luggage, and I didn't think to make arrangements for that. Then I suggest that you help her. It was a direct command that left no room for argument. It's okay, I can manage, Alex said, not wanting to cause trouble. She suddenly felt sorry for Gracie under the charge of this no-nonsense woman who was accustomed to barking orders and having them promptly obeyed. The older woman gave Alex a challenging look. No, Gracie will help you. It was on the tip of her tongue to insist that she could get the bags herself when Gracie cut in. Of course I will, she said warmly. That's what I'm here for. She walked around the corner. Show me the way. She looked past Alex to someone who was walking down the stairs. Or better yet, let's get him to help you. Alex turned and gasped. The room began to spin as she stumbled back. Dawson? She managed to squeak. He looked just as surprised to see her as she was to see him. Alex? What are you doing here? She gave him a weak smile and somehow managed to find her voice. I'm staying here this weekend. Their eyes connected and she felt a rush of heat that raced through her like a blowtorch. If she had any lingering doubts about how attracted she was to him, they were stomped flat this instant. He looked good, better than she remembered, if that were possible. He was wearing a gray sweater that was pulled taut across his broad chest, emphasizing his well-defined torso and flat abdomen. His black slacks seemed to be an extension of his long legs. His dark hair was messy and spiked as usual, giving him that playful, tough guy look that she found so endearing. She had dreamed of him so often over the past year, and here he was, in the flesh. Amusement flicked over his features, and there seemed to be a question in his eyes as he smiled, revealing the dimple in his right cheek. Something sharp jabbed into her side. She jerked and realized it was Gracie's elbow. Ow! What the heck? Don't just stand there, gawking like he's a freaking statue. Talk to him, Gracie whispered through gritted teeth. She forced a smile at Dawson that looked more like a grimace. Oh! Heat fanned Alex's face when Dawson chuckled. That's all it took for her to collect her wits. She straightened to her full height, determined to preserve what little dignity she had left. How have you been? She asked in a cool tone that suggested she hardly cared. Well, how about you? The husky masculine timbre of his voice evoked a longing she could scarcely contain. How was it that this man could affect her so strongly? Would she ever be free of him? I'm doing great. Never been better, she lied, forcing a cheerful smile. I'm glad to hear it, he said, but she could tell from the tightening of his jaw that the comment stung. At that moment, all she wanted to do was get as far away from Dawson as possible. How's the business? Busy as ever. His eyes locked with hers, and she could feel the blood pumping like a steam engine through her veins. You look great, he said. The words had a tender edge to them, like salt spilling into an open wound. Thanks, so do you, she said quietly. They just stood there, awkwardly, unsure what to say next. Finally, Gracie spoke. Would you mind helping Alex get her luggage to her room? No, I can manage, Alex blurted, going wild-eyed. It hurt too much to be in such close proximity with Dawson. It hurt to be this close and not be able to touch him. It hurt to pretend that he was a stranger when he'd been her everything. He gave her a funny look. I don't mind helping. No, she said in a more even tone, forcing a smile. I'll be fine. He looked like he might argue, but she turned on her heel and began walking toward the door as fast as she could go. Alex, he called after her. She stopped and turned. Yes? It's good to see you. She could tell from the sincere look in his eyes that he meant it. Hold it together, hold it together. It's good to see you too. Well, that wasn't a total disaster, Gertrude said dryly. Gracie made a face. I thought it went rather well. They obviously still have feelings for each other. Yeah, that was obvious, although you're going to have to figure out a way to get Alex to talk to the poor man. She nearly choked on her tongue at the mere sight of him. Don't be such a Debbie Downer. Debbie Downer? She scratched her head. I'm not familiar with that reference. Didn't you ever watch Saturday Night Live? What's that? Never mind. What year did you die anyway? 1980. Was Saturday Night Live around in the 70s when Gertrude would have been watching it? She didn't have a clue. She turned her attention back to the task at hand. So far, so good. She'd managed to get both Alex and Dawson here. Now it was time for the next phase. Don't you think that your two guests might get a little suspicious when they realize they're the only ones here? Gracie laughed. I'm already one step ahead of you. How so? Gertrude asked cautiously. There's an elderly couple staying in room 8. They checked in about an hour ago, and I'm expecting a family to arrive sometime later on this afternoon. Gertrude's face went purple. What? You're right. We need additional people here to make this experience authentic. I never gave you the authorization to involve other people in this. You told me to make a plan and execute it. That's what I'm doing. You said you weren't going to hold my hand the entire way, so I made a few decisions on my own. I thought you would be proud. She thrust out her lower lip. Gertrude looked like she might faint. Oh dear, this is not good. Not good at all. What? You know what we had to do to make this place to make it habitable? In reality, the inn is a vacant shell that's scheduled to be torn down any day now. If the local townspeople get wind of that it's like this, she motioned at the lavish surroundings, then we could have a problem on our hands. I was hoping that because it's so far removed from everything that no one would notice. Relax, I got people from out of town. The older couple, the Foxworths, are from Connecticut, and the family that's come in is visiting from Florida. How did you arrange it? I placed an online advertisement. Gertrude adjusted her glasses. This is getting trickier by the minute. How do you plan to pull off tonight's dinner? I was hoping you could do that wave thing with your hand. Yes, I would, but unfortunately it doesn't work too well with food. Some things must be done the old-fashioned way. Well, then we'll make it. Gertrude's eyebrows came together in a sharp V. We? Well, yes, I thought you'd help. She started shaking her head back and forth. Oh, no, I'm no chef by any stretch of the imagination. But surely you can help. She blew out a breath. I suppose I could. What are you making? I thought we'd keep it simple. Pot roast, salad, rolls, and a chocolate cake. She rattled off the list like it was a question. Simple, huh? My idea of simple is a frozen chicken pot pie. Ooh, we can't serve that. They turned as a man and woman entered the lobby. A little girl, about 7 years old, trailed behind them, holding a doll. Gracie smiled. Hello, you must be the Hendersons. Welcome to the Willow Tree Inn. Step this way and I'll get you checked in. He was here. She couldn't believe it. Dawson was here. Alex stopped pacing and stepped up to the window. She peered out at the landscape that was covered in tranquil white. Snow was falling softly, making everything feel quiet and still. Too quiet. There was too much time to think. She hugged her arms and stared into nothingness. She'd made a complete idiot of herself downstairs, and she had not even thought to ask Dawson why he was here. Why was he here? Had he gotten an all-expense-paid vacation too? Surely he wouldn't have come all the way from Texas to claim it. And where was his girlfriend, or the girlfriend, as she called her? Normally she would be starving right now because she had not eaten since lunch, but her stomach was churning like an out-of-balance washing machine. She wondered if Dawson were eating dinner tonight in the inn. A mixture of excitement and dread swirled in her stomach. Could she get through it? She needed to appear composed and in control. Had she even brought something decent to wear? She'd been planning on mostly lounging around and getting caught up on reading. She placed her suitcase on the bed and unzipped it. A quick rummage through her clothes confirmed it. All she had were jeans and sweaters. She picked the nicest sweater she had, a cream-colored cable knit turtleneck. Then she pulled out her darkest jeans. The ensemble wasn't great, but it was the best she could do under the circumstances. At least she had brought her hair and makeup products. She would need to take a shower, or better yet, soak in the garden tub. And she needed to wash her hair. That would help revive her appearance considerably. She removed her ponytail holder, letting her hair fall down around her shoulders. It felt sticky and dirty. She shuddered. Dawson had said she looked good, but she looked horrid. Personal grooming hadn't been too high up on her priority list this week due to all of the fires that were constantly cropping up at the office. She rubbed her aching shoulders. A good long soak in the tub would do wonders. She remembered the heat that went through her when her eyes connected with Dawson's. It seemed crazy that she'd spent all of this time trying to forget him, and yet here he was. Had fate thrown them together? Could her heart take another encounter with Dawson? It had nearly destroyed her when they parted ways, and she had spent all of this time trying to put her life back together. She glanced at her reflection in the mirror, noting the feverish look in her eyes and the heightened color in her cheeks. Heaven help her. All of the old feelings were rushing back with a vengeance, assaulting her in every direction. She clenched her fists, remained calm. She felt as though she were walking around in a dream. Was it a dream or a nightmare? Only time would tell. Okay. I hope you're enjoying it. I saw a few comments popping up, but I didn't want to like lose track and get off track with reading. So if you have any comments or even wanted to say something else, feel free to chime in. Okay, so I kind of want to get a feel for what are you thinking? What do you think about the book so far? Are you enjoying it? Are you reading along with me or listening? I kind of, it's been fun to get messages from you. It's been fun to see all the comments on YouTube. I love hearing your comments. I had some funny ones about Brooke. Of course, Brooke is Dawson's girlfriend, and she's a piece of work, and we're going to be hearing more about her. But she's kind of fun. She was kind of fun to write about. But it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Okay, so let me go ahead and announce the winner of the $10 Amazon gift card. Drum roll, please. Let's see. Let me get where I wrote it down. Okay, it is Miranda Morgan. Miranda, congratulations. You won the $10 Amazon gift card. And if you want to get in on that one for next week, be sure and join my newsletter. You'll find the link below. Okay, Austin, I think you were getting me. Austin has got, okay. He is on top of it. I could not do this without my amazing son, Austin. You'll see me often looking to the side, and he just takes everything in stride and puts up with all of my craziness. So I'm very, very grateful for him. Okay, the winners are Mary Lou Wright, Denise Spears, Denise Spears, and Pat F. Carpenter. Okay, so you guys won a copy of The Secrets We Treasure. That is the book that I wrote. It's actually the one that's out right now, the newest one in the series, but not for long because False Illusions is coming out. So you have won an ebook copy of The Secrets We Treasure. So be sure and email me at jennifer@jenniferyoungblood.com. That way I can send you your books. Okay, so let's see if I have missed anything here. I think that was it. I wish, I'll have to ask Austin here, but I wanted to see if I could find a way to look at your comments. I'm going to try something, and I hope I'm able to get you. Let's see. Do I just press this right here so I can see everybody's? Oh, there it is. Okay, awesome. Okay, so Chelsea said, hello, everyone. Pat said, glad to be here today. Let's see if I can do that from the middle. Sorry, guys. I know I'm technologically challenged. I don't want to mess up the feed, so I'm afraid to do too much. But if you have any more comments, feel free to share them right quick. Let's see. Austin's going to do it for me. So let's see if I can. Oh, awesome. Okay. So Mary Lou said, I'm really enjoying this reading. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary Lou. And Chelsea said, great reading. Guys, thank you so much. I really enjoy this. It's a learning curve for me. You can tell I tried to do the British accent because I knew that, I kind of panicked when I read that I had given Gracie this faux British accent. I thought there is no way that I can speak with a British accent. And I tried it and it sounded dreadful. Shelly says, hello from Utah. Hello, you're in my neck of the woods. How are you? Glad that you tuned in. But anyway, I did try to do the British accent. Dismal failure, so I apologize. I guess that's probably what I'm struggling with most is trying to do the voices. So at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I guess I'll just have to read it because there's just not much I can do. It reminds me that I'm a writer and not a narrator. That is my excuse. So, Gen Z. She says, thank you, Jennifer. You are very, very welcome. Genzi, thank you so much for joining me. It's so awesome to see friends. And so some of you, I actually have never met in person. We just know each other through my writing. Jinsey is a dear friend that I have known for many years, and it just warms my heart to see you on here, Jinsey. Thank you so much. And of course, I feel like so many of you are friends because we communicate so much, and I love it. It's like the best part of what I do. So, but I hope you are enjoying this, and I hope that you will continue to join me, continue to tune in. We may be experimenting with some different times to see what works. It's kind of hard to find a time that works for everyone. I guess it's just impossible to find something that works for everyone, but we try to accommodate as many people as possible. Let me see here to make sure that I'm just recapping everything. Those of you who won prizes, email me at jennifer@jenniferyoungblood.com. We'll be back next week. I'll be reading chapter 6. I'm excited. I'm excited now that Alex and Dawson are there at the end. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, if you love audiobooks, be sure to check out my full-length audiobooks. They are up here on my channel. And I did something different. I mentioned this last week, but I read the prologue for False Illusions. And so it is also up here. It's a video, I think it's called Sneak Peek. So, but anyway, be sure to look at that. And that is coming very, very soon. The actual release date, I think I told you, but is May the 11th. So unless there's anybody else have any final questions or any parting comments, if you do, chime in right quick. If not, we will go ahead and end this session. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoyed it. Oh, okay. Austin says that I need to give it some time. I get a little nervous, so I start talking fast, and haven't been doing a great job with like trying to read all the comments because I get a little bit nervous. She said she thinks I'm doing a great job. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, I have my little cheat sheet here. It kind of feels like it's a lot to keep up with, but sometimes I can't read my chicken scratch either, which makes it a little bit harder. So if you see me stumbling around, that's what it is. It'll be interesting as we get this done. It'll be interesting. We're kind of toying with maybe taking all the chapters and putting them in one book. Okay, Shelley says, I missed chapter 5. Let's see. She says, is this going to come out on audiobooks? Let's see. I didn't get the comment. Did I? Is it still?
You couldn't. It's back.
Okay, sorry. See, I'm trying to do this and I keep quitting. I think I actually disabled the stream. Okay, so Denise says, you are wonderful, so fun to listen to. Mary Lou writes, thank you for reading. You guys are so awesome. And okay, Austin's having to help me so that I can keep viewing the comments here. Okay, so Shelley, you had asked about if the book is going to come out on audiobook, the whole thing. I don't know. I may just like put it all together and have it with me reading it. So this is kind of all a big experiment. So we'll kind of see. I don't know. It's interesting. Like you guys have to chime in. Like, do you enjoy listening to the chapters? Is it fun? I know it's a little bit challenging sometimes. I read one chapter and then we go on with our lives and then we have to kind of remember, oh, what happened in the previous chapter. So that's a little bit of a challenge, but at the end, I think when we put it all together, it won't feel so disjointed. Of course, then you'll probably be able to tell that I'm doing such a great job with the voices, especially if I'm not keeping them consistent. I'm certainly trying, but like I said, this is a learning experience, but it's fun. Oh, Jenzy said, thanks, Austin. You make this possible. Amen. I could not do this without Austin. He's actually standing right here beside of me, trying to help me with all the comments and everything. I told him that he's going to have to like come and get in front of the camera sometimes. He enjoys being behind the camera. Shelley says, love it. This Jana Lee says that's the beauty of being able to rewatch the videos. Absolutely. If we miss it, we can do that. Austin says, thanks, Jenzy. Denise says, I love listening to the chapter. So glad that you do this. Thank you, Denise. I'm really loving it. Like I said, I look forward to just being able to communicate with you. Oh, I have one from local contributor. He says, whoa, who is that beautiful Southern Belle? He's been, I don't know if you saw me last week. I kind of jolted a little bit because this comment came up and it said something like, I'd like to kiss you over candlelight. And it freaked me out. And then I realized that it was from my husband. So that was from my husband. So my husband, Patrick. So he loves to give me a hard time. he always has me laughing, and he always, a lot of times when I put funny things in my books, he'll say that they came from him. I say, hey, give me a little bit of credit here. And then he'll say, you're not funny. And I say, well, my readers think I'm funny. You know, when I do my rom-coms, people write and say that they think it's funny. And he just looks at me with a deadpan expression and says, you're not funny. So anyway, and maybe I'm not that funny. I probably think I'm funny, but I'm really not funny. But anyway, but yeah, he loves to give me a hard time. He loves to razz me by getting me off balance and putting up these comments that freak me out a little bit. So yeah, if I'm doing these and you see me go like this, it's probably because he's put something up. Okay, well anyway, I will end on that note. Thank you so much for joining me, and be sure to keep tuning in. And hey, if you have any, even if you have any like suggestions or ways that I can improve this video, please feel free to put them in the comments. And also, if you would, oh, Shelly says, I think you're funny. Ha ha, take that, Patrick. Thank you, Shelly. You made my day. That's woman power, right? Guys don't know what funny is. They just think they know what funny is, right? Thank you. That made my day. But if you have any suggestions on how I can improve these events, please let me know. Or if you have specific suggestions for prizes, like let me know about that too, because I want to make this as good as it can possibly be. So, okay. Anyway, I will let you go. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.